Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
We are from the 7th group, and now we would like to present our material, Symbolism and Imagery. And here we are. First is Vivi, Alayda, Yaya, and me, Latifatul Ulya, and then Natasya Nur Maulida, and Marshella Dwi Wijayani, and also Rizky, Nadia, Safitri. Okay, for the first material is Symbolism, will be presented by Miss Rizky, Nadia, Safitri.
Symbolism. The author uses a symbol to mean something other than its literal meaning. For instance, an owl can represent them as say for something else. What makes symbol more than just say is that they operate on multiple levels and have multiple possible meanings at the same time. Think of the reference of a stop sign as an sign. The cross as a symbol. For more example, a sword might be a sword and also symbol justice. Arrows can represent beauty or love. A soaring bird may stand for freedom, like make symbolize hope or knowledge of life and etc. Next. There are two kinds of symbols: public conventional, universal, and private contextual. Public or universal symbols are recognizable by most people, while private or contextual symbols are unique to an individual or to a single group. This the white wall becomes a symbol of evil in Moby Dick. The moon in a Midsummer Night Dream is a reminder of instability in the sublunary world. The more inexhaustible its potential meaning, the richer the symbol is recurrent associations. The use indicate opposition and the author's explanation of symbol meaning, broaden the significance of text component from mere implication. To symbolism, the meaning of any symbol is always controlled by its context.
Okay, for the next material is Imagery, will be presented by Miss Vivi, Alayda, Yaya.
Okay, imagery. It refers to the sensory image that the writer used to develop the story. Sensory image are word picture that appeal to one or more of the senses, such as sight, taste, smell, touch, and hearing. Poetry and poetic prose are grounded in the concrete and the specific, in the details that stimulate our sense. It is through our sense that we perceive the world. Such specific details which stimulate our feelings and trigger our memories are called descriptive or sensuous image. A descriptive image may be visual or pertaining to the eye, olfactory or smell, tactile or touch, auditory or hearing, gustatory or taste, abstract, or in which case it may appeal to intellect, and kinesthetic or pertaining to the sense of movement. Here are several examples of descriptive image. When Shakespeare writes, a rose scrape hiss in the bowl, he creates a highly realistic experience in sound. Several visual images below and similarly true to life. The reader will find them in Alfred Tennyson poem. Life the life, young and old, life in oak, bright in spring, living gold, summer rich then, and the autumn change. Sobered, hot cold again. All his lives, volume and length, look, distance, trunk, and poke, neck, strength. A tiny sound, the oak.
Imagery, that is, image taken collectively, is used to signify all the objects and qualities of sense perception referred to in a poem or other work of literature, whether by literal description, by allusion, or in the vehicle or the secondary reference of its similes and metaphors. In William Wordsworth, he dwelt among the uncertain ways. The imagery in this broad sense includes the literal object of the poem, refers to, for example, uncertain way, springs, grave, as well as the violet in the metaphor. And the star of the simile in the second stanza. The term image should not be taken to imply a visual reproduction of the object denoted. Some readers of the passage experience visual image and some do not. And among those who do, the explicitness and the details of the picture vary greatly. Also, imagery in the usage includes not only visual sense of qualities, but also qualities that are auditory, tactile, or touch, thermal, or heat and cold, olfactory or smell, gustatory or taste, and kinesthetic, or sensation of movement. In his memoriam number 101, for example, Tennyson imagery encompasses not only things that are visible, but also qualities that are smelled, tasted, or heard, together with the suggestions in the adjective summer of warmth, love, that peach will gather brown and may a rose carnation fit with summer spice, the humming air. Imagery is used more narrowly to signify only specific description of visible objects and scenes, especially if the description is vivid and particularized, as in the passage from Marianne Moore's The Steeple. Commonly, in recent usage, imagery signifies figurative language, especially the vehicle of metaphors and simile. Critics after 1930, and notably the new critics, went far beyond earlier commentators in stressing imagery in the sense of the essential component in poetry and as a major factor in poetic meaning, structure, and effect.
Okay, for the next is question will be presented by Miss Natasya Nur Maulida.
Okay, the first question is, what sort of symbols are used by the writer? The answer is, elements of character and setting can be seen as symbolic. Character, Diana as a mythical figure, embodies timeless values and virtues, contrasting with the modern attitude of the lion. The lions, with their distinct personalities and perspective, represent different facets of contemporary literary culture. Setting, the New York City serves as a symbolic backdrop for the clash of old and new, tradition and modernity. The library steps, guarded by the lions, become a symbolic battleground where the competing ideologies intersect. Next, the second question is, do elements of character or setting appear symbolic, and why? Diana, as the divine and powerful figure, represents strength and independence. The lion, on the other hand, symbolizes authority and knowledge, with the academic lion embodying intellectual prowess and the magazine lion representing popular culture and media. The setting of the library step can be seen as symbolic of access to knowledge and learning, with the lion position as guardians of this intellectual realm. These symbolic elements serve to convey deeper meanings about the pursuit of knowledge, the interaction between different forms of authority, and the role of individual in accessing and engaging with information. Ini Kak. Okay. And the third question is the symbol, contextual or universal, and how the symbol in the story can be interpreted as both contextual and universal. The lion blushing symbolizes their unexpected modesty and vulnerability, which contrasts with their fierce and imposing appearance. It functions within the story to humanize the lion and create a sense of surprise and intrigue for the reader, as it challenges an unexpected display of modesty adds depth to the character and contributes to the whimsical and fantastical atmosphere of the narrative.
Okay, for the next question is what types of imagery does the writer use? How does it make the story believable? Okay, the answer is visual descriptions. The writer paints vivid pictures with details like the gibbous moon and the pink glow of the lions. This visual imagery makes the scene come alive. Personification. By giving the lion status human qualities like the ability to speak, it makes these fantastical characters seem more real and relatable. Sensory details. Descriptions involving the scenes, like the wet and glistening library steps, ground the story in realistic sensory experiences we can imagine. Humor. The witty, humorous dialogue and descriptions make the unbelievable premise feel more plausible and entertaining. By using these different types of the author creates a vivid and compelling scene where detailed description, personification, and humor work together to make the encounter between Diana and the lion feel real and entertaining, despite its fantastical nature. Okay, for the next question, identify some passages where the writer used imagery. What types of imagery does the writer use, and why does the writer use it? The answer, Indiana and the Lions by Henry van Dyke. The writer employs rich and evocative imagery to bring the story to life. Van Dyke vividly describes the forest setting as dark and tangled, instilling a sense of foreboding and mystery. This imagery not only sets the tone but also helps to establish the believability of the story by creating a vivid mental picture for the reader. Furthermore, the imagery used to depict Diana's bravery in facing lions is particularly impactful. Van Dyck paints a picture of her standing firm, her bow drawn, facing the fearsome beast with determination in her eyes. This imagery not only highlights Diana's courage but also makes the dangers she faces feel palpable and real to the reader. By employing such detailed and immersive imagery throughout the story, Van Dyck makes the narrative come alive, drawing readers into the world he has created and making the extraordinary event therein feel entirely believable. And for the last question, how does the imagery affect the mood of the story? The answer is Henry van Dyke's short narrative Diana and the Lions extensively use pictures to create ambience, and mood. The following are some examples of how visual influences the story's mood. The first, nature imagery. Throughout the narrative, Van Dyck paints a peaceful and quiet scene with his detailed description of the natural world. The glittering stream, the soft breeze, and the verdant surroundings all add to the area's sense of beauty and tranquility. The juxtaposition between this serenity and the stress and strife brought about by the lion's presence heightens the suspense and drama. Second, animal imagery. Strong, regal imagery is used to depict the lions themselves. Van Dyck writes of their penetrating eyes, golden fur, and elegant motions. This picture conjures and the third, light and darkness. Throughout the narrative, Van Dyck used imagery associated with light and darkness to generate different moods. The soft light coming through the trees gives Diana a feeling of security and warmth when she is by herself in the forest. But as the lions get closer, the tension and fear increase as the light fades and the shadows become longer. And the fourth, symbolic imagery. To express deeper themes and feelings, the story also makes use of symbolic imagery. For instance, Diana's white attire contrasts with the lion's savagery, signifying her innocence and purity. Her inner conflicts and the threat she faces are symbolized by the image of the lions around her like predators. Okay, maybe that's all from our group. And sorry for our mistakes. The last we say, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.